Okay, we've done our percussion, we've done our chords. Let's do our bass line. In BandLab, I can get rid of my instrument that I used to write my chords on, but I am going to double click and call that chords. So to change the name of something, just mouse over it, double click it, and type in a new name. And now I need to do add track, and I need a virtual instrument again. And it's given me another grand piano. This time, look, because I've already got one, it's given me a different color. And it's colored this one purple. So I click that. I get my grand piano keyboard. It's in the key of C major, which is what we're in. Great. I want to go to the MIDI editor. And I'm going to do a bass line in this particular section. And the technique I'm going to use to do my bass line is simply to follow the root notes of each chord, okay? And I'm just going to do a couple of beats in each bar for my bass line. I am going to have a bass line, though, in my intro section. So that's a good first thing to do. Check that you are actually at the beginning of your piece. So I'm in bar 1 now, and I'm going to go down to C2, and I'm going to play my root note. But I'm going to make it last half the bar. So I'm going to play a half note. You'll find when you're composing, you can't really go wrong with your root note. Okay, it pretty much fits in everywhere. Bar 2, I'm going to leave it out, and I'm going to play my root note again in bar 3. But that's not my root note. That's my root note. So literally, I'm just going to play my root note twice. So at this point, there's an obvious mistake that we can make here that I need to point out. The mistake is, once we've written our intro, we want a bass line that we can just keep repeating. And if we write our bass line on the same track as we've written our intro, we can't copy it without copying our intro. And we don't want to do that. So we need to add another track. I'm going to change instrument to intro. Well, I'm going to change it to bass intro. And I'm going to add another track. Another virtual instrument, got a blue piano this time. And I'm going to start bar 5 because that's where our chords start. Now, you will remember that it's a 1-5-6-4 chord progression. In the key of C major, those notes are C, G, A, and F. And all I'm going to do on our bass line here is play those notes twice in our in each bar, so alongside each chord. Just make that grow a bit. Could we make that grow a bit? Yeah, that's where it was before. I don't know why it shrunk, but there we go. So our first chord is C. So we're at bar 5. See, our bars are numbered here, and our main piece is numbered up here. So our first chord starts at the beginning of bar 5, and it's a C chord. Let's just play 2 quarter notes by way of a bass line. So that's my first one. That's my second one, and that's C. Our next chord is G. So we go to the beginning of bar 6. That's G, 2 quarter notes. Okay. Our next chord is A, and it's the beginning of bar 7. So bar 7, A, which is that one. Remember, B and C are to the left of the 2 black keys, or to the bottom of in this. So if that's B, that must be A there. So I'll play an A, play another A, and then at the beginning of bar 8, we need to go down to F. So it is C, D, E, F. Play 2 Fs. And that's going to be our bass line. Let's mute everything else and see how it sounds. That'll do, I think. What we'll do is we'll just copy it and make it last until the end of 16 bars. I'm pretty sure we're going to need to add more bars, but let's just make it repeat throughout the track. So I move my playhead by just clicking where I want it to be, one click. Mouse over my snippet, click once, and then I go Control C, Control V. Single click up here to move my playhead. It's already selected, so I go Control C, Control V, and that's my 16 bars. I'm just going to change the name of that to bassline. And let's have a bit of a listen to how all these tracks sound together. So I'm going to unmute them. And let's have a listen. Okay, not too bad, but what hopefully you can already hear is that some instruments are quite a lot louder than other instruments. So what we might do now, there's going to be a section on this right at the end, but I'll just briefly talk about it. We need to do a bit of mixing, so we need to turn down the louder instruments, and hopefully then we can hear the quieter ones. So I'm going to turn down the percussion. You've got these sort of volume controls down here. They're the equivalent of like sliders in a recording studio. So if I just turn that down, so 0 decibels now, and so is everything else. And I just mouse over it and click to hear what the volume level is. I'm going to take it down to -2. What did that come out? -8, -2. I'm going to just take the chords down to -1. Let's try it now. So bring the playhead back to the beginning. See how that sounds. Yeah, not too bad. Still a way to go. We still need to do a bit more mixing, I think. I think the drums are still too loud, and maybe the chords too. And remember, we need to change the instruments to instruments more reminiscent of the brief that we've been given, which is an 80s retro game theme. But I think that's all right for the time being. Let's crack on and start working on our melody.